Hey, welcome back to your behavior code. In this video, we're going to talk about something that happens every time you shop, online or in store, why you keep buying things you didn't plan to, and why the decision was never really yours to begin with. The system behind it is 100 years old, and it's been getting smarter ever since. So sit back, because this one is going to change the way you see every price tag, every sale, and every just one more thing moment. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more than you think. You didn't need it, you knew you didn't need it. You told yourself you wouldn't buy it, and then you bought it anyway. Maybe it was something small, an item you threw in the cart at the last second. Maybe it was something bigger, a purchase you justified for days before finally giving in. Maybe it was something you don't even use anymore, sitting in a drawer somewhere, silently judging you. Here's the question you've never fully asked yourself. What if the decision was never really yours? What if the moment you walked into that store or opened that app, the outcome was already decided? Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you will never shop the same way again. You do this too. Think about the last time you bought something you didn't plan to. You went in for one thing, you came out with 5, or you opened an app just to browse. And somehow, your card was charged 20 minutes later. Here's a number that will stop you cold. The average person makes over 35,000 decisions every single day. Up to 95% happen below conscious awareness. That includes what you buy. Most purchasing decisions are made before your rational mind even gets involved. You feel a pull, an urgency that seems to come from nowhere, and by the time your logical brain catches up, the item is already in your cart. That feeling is an impulse. That isn't weakness. That is a system working exactly as designed, because somewhere between the store layout, the price tag, the lighting, and the music, an entire science was built around one single goal: make you spend more than you intended. And they have been perfecting it for over a century. The science. Let's start with something you walk past every single day without noticing. The entrance of almost every major supermarket on Earth is designed the same way. You walk in, and the first thing you see is fresh flowers or produce, bright colors, natural light, the smell of fresh bread drifting from the bakery in the back. This is not decoration, this is neuroscience. Studies show that exposure to natural elements at the start of a shopping trip triggers a subconscious feeling of abundance and well-being. Your brain relaxes, your guard drops, and a relaxed brain spends more. That's just the entrance. Now look at where the essentials are. Milk, eggs, bread, the things you actually came for. They are almost always at the back of the store or along the outer edges. You have to walk past everything else to reach them. Every step is calculated. Every display is a trap. And then there's pricing. You see a product for $9.99, and your brain registers it as significantly cheaper than $10. You know logically it's 1 cent. But your brain doesn't process prices logically. It processes the first digit. 9 feels fundamentally different from 10. This is called charm pricing, and it has been proven to increase sales by up to 24%. But the most powerful weapon isn't the layout or the price. It's something invisible. It's called scarcity. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends tonight. Limited edition. While supplies last. The moment your brain perceives something as scarce, its value inflates instantly. This isn't irrational, it's evolutionary. For most of human history, scarce resources were genuinely worth fighting for. Your brain never updated that instinct. So when a website shows you a countdown timer ticking towards 0, your ancient survival brain activates, and your rational mind gets pushed out of the driver's seat, the dark side. Now here's where it stops being clever and starts being something else entirely. In the 1950s, a market researcher named James Vicary claimed he had flashed the words, "Drink Coca-Cola and eat popcorn," on a movie screen so fast that audiences couldn't consciously see them, and sales increased dramatically. The story turned out to be fabricated, but in trying to debunk it, researchers discovered something far more disturbing. You don't need subliminal messages. The influence happening above the threshold of consciousness is already powerful enough. In 1999, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology played French music in a wine section. French wine outsold German wine by 5 to 1. The following week, they played German music. German wine dominated. When customers were asked why they chose what they chose, almost none of them mentioned the music. They didn't know. The environment was making their decisions, and they had no idea. Online retail took this to a scale that physical stores could never dream of. Every time you open a shopping app, an algorithm already knows what you looked at last time, how long you hovered over each item, what time of day you're most likely to buy, and exactly what emotional state makes you spend more. It knows your patterns better than you know yourself. Amazon's "customers also bought" feature alone is estimated to drive 35% of the company's total revenue. Not because people need those items, because the suggestion arrives at the exact moment the brain is already in a buying state. And then there are dark patterns, deliberately confusing unsubscribe buttons, pre-checked boxes that add items to your order, fake original prices that were never real. A 2022 study by the Federal Trade Commission found that dark patterns were present in the majority of the top 100 shopping websites. They are not bugs, they are features, the twist. In the 1920s, a man named Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, convinced women to smoke cigarettes publicly by rebranding them as torches of freedom. He didn't sell a product, he sold a self-image. That was over 100 years ago, and it never stopped. Every luxury brand, every lifestyle product, every limited edition drop is selling you the same thing. A version of yourself. Smarter, more successful, more attractive. The product is almost irrelevant. What you're actually buying is the feeling of who you could be. And the most unsettling part, it works even when you know it's happening. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that people told explicitly that a product was designed to make them feel a certain way, still felt that way after buying it. Awareness does not fully disable the mechanism because the pull isn't coming from your rational mind. It's coming from somewhere older, somewhere deeper. The part of you that has always believed that having more means being more. Now what? So what do you actually do with this? First, introduce a waiting rule. Before any unplanned purchase, wait 24 hours. Research shows that over 70% of impulse purchases are abandoned after a single night's sleep. The urgency was never real. The scarcity was manufactured. The feeling fades. Second, shop with a list and a limit, not because you lack willpower, but because decisions made in a neutral environment, at home, before you enter the store or the app, are genuinely freer than decisions made inside a system designed to override them. Third, notice the identity cell. Next time an advertisement makes you feel something, ask yourself, what version of me are they promising? That pause alone breaks the mechanism. You were not born impulsive. You were not born a bad spender. You were born into a world that spent 100 years learning exactly how to reach into your brain and pull the lever that opens your wallet. The fact that you sometimes resist, that you put things back, close the tab, walk away, is more remarkable than it sounds. That resistance is yours, and now you know where it needs to go. If this changed how you see your next shopping trip, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to know the next invisible system running your decisions without your permission, that video is already waiting.